Hello guys, I'm Foxy, and welcome to RadFox University! This is the start of a series of videos how to improve your different skills. Today, I'm going to tell you how you can practice to improve your aim. You can use my tips as a warm-up for several minutes every time before games, or do the training separately till you feel confident enough to go into the squads against other players. This game requires a lot of multitasking and can be confusing at first. The most important part in a shooting game is shooting itself. There are different aspects you can work on. I hope my tips help. Before we go to the training part, let's talk about some basic stuff. Check your weapon settings. Motion damping is basically a setting to make your hands more steady. And the offhand influence is how much your second hand affects your aiming when you hold a gun with two hands. Players use different settings, but the most common one, which a lot of players do including me, is 100 motion damping and 0 hand influence. Test it and see if your accuracy becomes better. Second, your body posture. Make sure it's comfortable and relaxed. No need to hold your arms in the air when you shoot with both hands. Put at least one of them on the side of your body. The more relaxed your arms are, the easier it is to shoot. When I'm all nervous and shaking, I barely hit anything. Now to the main part. The first and most important thing you want to master to have a more precise aim is the recoil. The best way to practice controlling the recoil is to go to the training park and shoot the targets. Every autogun has a unique pattern. You can check them by shooting the wall or watching my video. One-hand control has the biggest recoil and aiming through the sides has the least recoil there is. Even though the recoils are different, there is one thing in common. Mainly, they all go up. So the motion you need to practice is pulling your hand down to counter the recoil. How quick and fast your movement should be depends on the gun and the distance. Compare the spread of AKM and MP5 with one hand from afar and up close. When the enemy is really close, the recoil basically doesn't matter. The farther the enemy, the more trouble you're gonna have hitting them. If you have a favorite gun you prefer to always go with, pay the most attention to it. Try to not just pull your hand down, but also see if there are any curves at the end. If there are, but you don't seem to be able to master them, make a habit of shooting the gun till that point, then reload. No need to shoot and spend all your ammo if you know you're not gonna hit any. For example, P90 has a random recoil at the end, and if the enemy is far, it makes sense to shoot for a second or two, then reload, as you don't know what the end of the recoil to expect. Or M60, when I need to use it for the far distance, I find it easier to shoot it till it winds up, then I notice I missed too much. So I shoot till I feel I lose the control, stop, start shooting again. If you just started and don't have a preferable gun yet, you can start with the guns that have the easiest recoils. Those are 6.4, which is AR, and two SMG guns, UMP and MP9. Remember to shoot any gun using the sights when possible, which is mid and far range. Leave the hip fire for the close range. If you don't want to worry too much about the recoil, consider not auto weapons, like MK18, FAL, pistols, and sniper rifles. Yes, your aim is mostly about how you control the recoil. Now you got that part down. But there are other aspects as well. When in game, you won't be just standing and shooting a not moving target. Let's start with the things you can still practice here in the training park. Strafing and shooting. Go left, right, in circles. You need to be able to land all your bullets on the target, and even better if you can hit everything in the red. Similar to that but more difficult is flying and shooting. Always try to go for the bullseye. Pretend it's the head of someone who is speaking. And the most difficult and most important part is peeking and shooting. Peek over this wall and shoot the target. Pay attention to how much you're seen. Try to not show your body too much. Peeking and shooting with one hand is the most difficult because the recoil is the biggest. But at the same time, it has a huge advantage. When you peek, you are much harder to hit, and you gain a better position over the enemies. They often don't know how to win the peekers, so they fly in the open or walk in the open towards you. That's when you get them. Just be patient. When you feel confident shooting steel targets in the park and want to shoot the moving ones, there are different places you can go to for training. If you're new to the game, consider going to the combat trial first. There you can practice all the guns right away as they are spawned in one place. Bots appear every several seconds around you. There is no storm or zone shrink. Just shoot and kill till you die or the time runs out. You can also try bot battles. They are closer to the usual games with all the rules, except they are bots and not real people. When you feel it's enough and you want something else, the best place to go is Team Deathmatch in the SandBox. You can see several playlists on the main screen and can choose a specific room from the menu options. In TDM, you train your aim on real players with real ping differences. This is also the best way to practice the last but not the least important part of getting a better aim, the leading of your bullets. All because there is a bullet travel time in the game. The distance you need to keep in mind when you shoot is different for every gun, and is bigger the farther you are from the enemy. No other way to master it except for shooting real players. Best is to practice this in TDM and not in real games, where dying might be frustrating. Depending on the map, you can practice your close range, mid-range and far range. You can just practice one gun over and over without worrying about dying. You respawn right away. Usually one TDM lasts about 15 minutes. You can see the scoreboard at the end, and then you can pick another map if you chose the playlist option. Make your goal in TDM to try to have more kills than deaths. This will take a while, don't worry. Just keep practicing. If you don't want to worry about the score and time limit, go to Hangout. It is the same as TDM, but with no time limit and scoreboard. When you are ready for the squads, don't miss a chance to practice in the pre-lobby before the match starts. Just don't focus on one guy. Here I usually practice the guns I use the least. Consider getting a target spray to place it on a wall and shooting it sometimes as well. Good luck on the battlefield! That's all I wanted to show you today. Is there anything else you'd like to know? Write in the comments. If the video was helpful, please press like and subscribe. You can find more videos about Population 1 on my channel. Anything to add or ask? Welcome to the comments. Thank you for watching. Bye!